reverberations around Fox's firing Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, who was a real champion for the little guy. The little guy, of course, was the name of one of his fraternity brothers at the posh private school he went to in Newport, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Little guy, yes.
Little guys like Dan White.
Exactly.
He said, hey, the little guy only gets one flogging from the senior fraternity brother, not two.
That's right. But there's been a lot of speculation, and I would imagine many of the stories that you see put out there as to why he was fired, it's probably not really the truth. We don't know. We do know there is a report that they have an Oppo research file on him, which, if I was Abby Grossberg and Abby Grossberg's attorneys, she is the producer who is suing Fox over Tucker Carlson, I would be like, we're going to want to see that for discovery, incidentally, that Oppo research file that you have, that you seem to have, cited these news reports. So I don't know what is going on over there. But here is Abby Grossberg on with MSNBC's Nicolle Wallace as they talk about what material Grossberg has that was not actually made available. Well, A, what her relationship was like, or her work experience was like on Tucker Carlson's show. And then we have another clip about what information Fox did not seem to produce in discovery for that Dominion suit.
I was hoping that it would be more professional, and what he was portraying on air was just a show. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
So when do you realize that?
Immediately. I show up first day of work, and I know that this is a popular one. It's been widely publicized. There are literally pictures like this big of Nancy Pelosi in a bathing suit in Europe, plastered all over. There was even one on my computer screen for the temporary computer I had to use, and I had to take it down just to work. Within a few days there, I was called into Justin Wells' office with Alex McCaskill, who was a senior producer as well, and asked if Maria was having an affair with Kevin McCarthy. It was just, I was shocked. I couldn't even believe it. I was floored.
Let's go through.
You know, what I find shocking is that she was shocked.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, had anybody not seen Fox News?
Well, that's the thing is, like, her expectation was that it was just a show and that actually behind the scenes were professional. And it's like,
Well, I mean,
maybe wishful thinking.
Definitely wishful thinking. The Dominion lawsuit, though, does show that they have public and private positions. Maybe she thought that was a little more broad,
Right,
that they secretly hate Trump, but publicly say, hey, his election lies make total sense. So that's not an unfair expectation, but it is just like, you're working at Fox News. You heard the Roger Ailes story. That didn't just all go away.
Right.
Say, baby, put down that pipe and get my pipe up.
And here is the second clip where Grossberg talks about the enormous amount of recordings she has that, for whatever reason, Fox decided they didn't have to supply Dominion in their discovery request.
Yeah, it's probably nothing.
Posts on the staff, and I was the only one that had the Abby day.
When you look at what came out in the discovery process, and then you take just your slice, as you said, you only know what you experienced. Do you believe that, I mean, the judge doesn't believe that the discovery process was pure, was untainted, was uncoerced. I mean, how much do you think people were hiding?
I know from my experience that there were multiple recordings on my devices that never turned up, that Dominion says that they didn't have. I gave Fox my phones. I literally said, take everything.
Off the Otter app.
Yeah, off the Otter app. I told them I had the Otter app. It was their responsibility to go through everything. And the recordings that I ultimately found during my own investigation into my own case in January of this year uncovered tapes of Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell and Trump's team. I don't know why they didn't find that. I don't know if that was recklessness or if that was done purposefully, but I have to believe if it happened with me, it happened with other people too.
And where are all of those recordings now? Did Dominion ultimately get them?
I have several recordings that I'm still going through that we've recovered from all of the phones. There are 90 that we have. I don't know what Fox turned over. I do know, based on what I've read, that they did hand over those Sidney and Rudy tapes to them. Fox should have everything. They really should.
Have you been contacted by Smartmatic?
Yes.
And you've shared all the Otter recordings with them or whatever?
I've been subpoenaed. We haven't shared anything.
Haven't begun the discovery process. Are you aware of anything that came up in the discovery process as it pertains to Tucker or his producer who was fired yesterday that could have led to his firing?
No, not that I'm aware of.
So you're sort of in this suspended animation with the rest of us. Let me ask you just again, I think
I don't think suspended animation it means what she thinks it does, but never mind. And I think she's looking for the word suspense. But nevertheless, it's interesting that Grossberg has no idea as to what would cause him to be fired, because one wonders if there's something else out there that is floating around.
I mean, Fox has a file.
Fox has a file to keep him from talking. So there is this sort of sense of like, and we know why you got fired, and it's not good for either one of us.
But he's seeking a big settlement, it seems, because him and Don Lemon have hired Chris Cuomo's attorney, who got him his settlement, I think, from CNN. So this is a bit of a tightrope walk for both parties. But
there's something different here, it seems to me, because it's one thing to pay out Tucker Carlson his $20 million. But when you're looking at a settlement for $760 billion or whatever, $780 million rather, 20 million, haggling between 15 million and 20 million or 10 million and 22 million, whatever. That's like one realm.
Yeah.
There could be another realm out there that is, but I don't know if we'll ever know.
Abby, we thought you were cool. We thought you were chill. We thought you were one of the good ones. We thought you could take a joke. We thought we were one of the boys.
To be fair, we used to have a picture. I don't know where it is. It was over there. I don't know where it went. A picture of John Bonaire crying. It was not doctored in any way. I know that was very upsetting to you when you first got here.
Yes.
We have it for evidence for later.
That's in my blackmail file of you. So
for our future case against him.
Yeah, the most upsetting things on the wall here are Sam prints out old emails from like the Air America days.
I was actually thinking of framing that, like literally when I came out of the bathroom.
The crying photos behind the lockers you put up for us.
Oh, all right. Well, it's over there.
Okay.
Well, things are a little bit of a mess in this office, folks. Hey, folks, one of the biggest challenges we have in today's media world is how do I become an educated media consumer? And for me, what helps me understand what's happening with stories out there and how it's being reported, I use Ground News. What it does is it breaks down how a story is being covered, both on ideological lines, left, center, right, and in terms of corporate, non-corporate media. It's all there, very transparent. It gives you the opportunity to look at how a story is being covered internationally by neighboring countries or countries around the globe. It also has this feature called blind spots, where you can see if there's a story that is being covered more by the left or the right, you can start to see how media narratives are built. It's a fascinating site. It's a really helpful tool to educate yourself on media. Ground.news/majority. Try it for yourself. It's going to enhance both your understanding of the news today and long term. It's going to build your ability to be a better media consumer. Check it out. Ground.news/majority.